Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, Cashman strikes again, this time via the trade. Yankees picking up all-star closer Devin Williams from the Milwaukee Brewers in a trade for Nestor Cortez, who I kind of mentioned previously is probably going to be on his way out just because the Yankees had a plethora of starters. And in the deal, Caleb Durbin, someone we introduced here on the show, a second base prospect who, the Yankees were high on. He was doing good in winter ball, but again, he was someone who was injury prone there, so he possibly could have been in the running for if the Yankees decide just to go in house for second base. So I guess now he's off the map, but more importantly, Yankees bolster up the bullpen and bring in another team's closer. So we'll find out is Luke Weaver going to stay to close, or is Devin Williams going to stay to close? But nevertheless, a good quality arm, good trade by Cashman. So we'll kind of get into the details of this deal. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast because, again, it looks like Cashman's going to be pretty busy. We have a whole winter ahead of us of moves. And before you know, we'll be into spring training. And, of course, there's also the YouTube version of the show. Go to YouTube, type in Section 420, Talkin Yankees, subscribe there as well. So Yankees, early on move into their Plan B phase. That was first signing Max Fried, the big lanky left-hander there, to a big deal to bolster up the starting rotation. And then kind of a bit of a minor move with Loizaga. Again, it wasn't loving it, happy with it, because he's someone coming off Tommy John surgery, and it's just yet another guy. The Yankees seem to have a plethora of these guys, whether it was Scott Efros and Tommy Kahnle started the year last year hurt. Lou Trevino never even made it up here. But now this doesn't really hurt as much, but you have someone dependable like Devin Williams. This is what I kind of mentioned, this is what the Yankees need. Need like 4 or 5 really, really, really good guys, because this is the way the game is now, especially in the postseason. I mean, these starters barely go 5 innings now, and you need a good stable of guys you can bring out of the pen. And again, if you get a healthy Loizaga that's effective, we've seen Loizaga pitch for the Yankees in the 2022 postseason. He was pretty damn good. It was his first time doing it, and he passed with flying colors. Just got the injury, unfortunately, to start the 2024 season. So, but now if you tell me you got Luke Weaver, you got now this Devin Williams, and if Loizaga could recapture his form from a couple of years ago, now you're cooking. Cashman still probably needs to bring 1 or 2 more guys in here, but again, you like the direction Cashman's going so far with this move, and obviously to give something, you have to get something. So, Mr. Cortez, unfortunately, it's just I think we've seen the best of him. Obviously he's a left-handed starter, so you don't really like to give those away. But I think in terms of his trade values, is probably as high as he's going to get. Did not have a good 2024 season. He had a lot of losses that some of it weren't really his fault. I mean, he didn't get a great run support. And of course, the 2023 season was just a lot of injuries. So, he's probably never going to be that Nestor he was, about 3 or 4 years ago. So, I mean, if there's a time to move him, now would be the time to move him. And of course, you have to maybe sweeten the pot a little bit, give up a good prospect like Durbin. Again, a good hitter, a good fielder, could steal bases, going to kind of do a lot of stuff there. But I mentioned before, he's injury prone as well and never played more than 105 games in a professional baseball season. So, you'd like to see him maybe come up, maybe possibly be the Gleyber Torres replacement. But if you're going to bring in an all-star caliber closer like Williams, then, okay, it's worth doing the move. So I think it's a good move for the Yankees. Good opportunity for Nestor Cortez. Maybe goes to Milwaukee and kind of rediscovers himself again. And, pitching the National League Central, maybe it'll be, some bigger ballparks. Maybe he could put up some good stats. So you kind of wish him well. And then whatever happens with Durbin. Obviously he'll probably be in the minor league system for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, as for Devin Williams himself, 30 years old. Now he's entering arbitration. So the Brewers declined a $10.5 million option they had for him. So now he's going to get sent to the Yankees. So I guess the Yankees are going to have to deal with arbitration with him. And then, of course, after the 2025 season, he's going to hit free agency. So this might just be a 1-year rental, which, again, even if you give it up Nestor Cortez, that's fine to strengthen the back end of that bullpen. I think it's definitely a good move for Cashman. Again, whether this guy costs, maybe the arbitration comes out around $12, $13 million, who knows. If it's for 1 year, it's not terrible. Williams is a 2-time All-Star, 2020 National League Rookie of the Year, and in the since he took over the closer role for the Brewers in 3 seasons, has racked up 68 saves. Now last year he didn't pitch a lot, had some injuries there, so he only pitched in 22 games, but the numbers, even though it was a small sample size, was impressive. In 21.2 innings, 38 strikeouts, so he's averaging about 2 strikeouts per inning, and had a 1-0 record. A microscopic 1.25 ERA with 14 saves. So again, this is a good quality arm that the Yankees are getting. Now, the one little blemish he had last season is he's the one who gave up that big home run to Pete Alonso, that big dramatic 9th inning home run there. So, a little bit of a yip there. But collectively, again, a very top-notch arm in the majors there that the Yankees added to this bullpen, which, the Yankees have had a lot of resurrection projects. I always call it the merry-go-round, the Jake Cousins of the world, and the Caleb Fergusons who didn't get shipped out. So, the Yankees kind of looking for little different ways, the spring training invite for Dennis Santana, and then getting what you get at him, then cutting him. But Devin Williams is a kind of a stable guy. He's not some sort of bargain basement sort of pickup. This is a solid arm. Again, only 30 years old, in his prime. Hard thrower there. So, again, good move for the Yankees as they keep busy along. And, again, whether this move would happen if the Soto deal goes down remains to be seen. Hard to say. Because, again, this guy's probably going to get over at least more than $10 million per season. But, again, Cashman, again, it's like, if you can't get the one big fish, then if you get 4 or 5 smaller fishes and put it around, just to strengthen the baseball team, that actually might end up being the better thing. So we'll have to see how that works out. Now, other name that was flown out there was, of course, Kyle Tucker, we discussed in the previous episode here. Now, the Cubs were looking at him. The Yankees were looking at him. As I mentioned, the holdup, I guess, or at least what the Houston Astros were hoping to get from the Yankees was Luis Gil. And I mentioned that, no, the Yankees probably shouldn't make that move. Maybe see if they could counter offer with either Nestor Cortez or Clark Schmidt. I guess probably the Yankees were thinking the same thing. So the Yankees wouldn't budge on Gil. And I think it was kind of the right move because I would hate to see Luis Gil go to Houston, who they just do wonders with pitchers, and have him just, becomes some phenomenal player that, ends up, knocking the Yankees out of the postseason. So, and plus, I think Luis Gil has a lot to give, a higher ceiling. I would like to see him do that in a Yankee uniform. So as much as you like to bring Tucker in here, I like Cashman's idea of just staying pat, because, again, there's still some other options, maybe Bellinger elsewhere. I would not want to give up Luis Gil, who just won the American League Rookie of the Year. And again, it's probably just going to only get better from here. So I like Cashman standing his ground on that one. So, but as mentioned, Tucker gets traded ultimately to the Cubs. So Yankees whiff on that one. But again, I think that's a good non-move by Cashman. I would not want to see Luis Gil thriving in a Houston Astros uniform. We've had enough Houston Astros pitchers shutting down Yankees hitters, and don't need to see that one of our own guys, one of our own prospects doing that. So I'm okay with that. And let's see if Cashman goes elsewhere. So that's the episode. We got Devin Williams. Trade Balsas strengthens the Yankee bullpen. I probably need maybe 1 or 2 more guys, and I think the Yankees will be set there. Again, they just had a plethora of starting pitches, so you knew someone was going to go. Stroman, you're paying money to, and I don't think anyone would want to trade for him. Clark Schmidt had a really good 2024, and probably going to get even better. And so I kind of just left Nestor Cortez as expendable, who we've probably seen the best of him. A solid trade, and getting Devin Williams in a solid no trade by holding on to Luis Gil, because I would not want to see him in an Astros uniform. Catch you next time.